I've been walking this earth for 87 years. I'm about to tell you something that might surprise you. The secret to a long life isn't about what you start doing, it's about what you dare to stop. My name is Martha Jean. I've buried my mother, my father, 2 sisters, and my husband. I've been to more funerals than birthday parties, and I realized a truth a long time ago. The ones who leave early all have something in common. It wasn't fate. It wasn't bad genes. It was habits. Habits they wouldn't let go of. So I'm going to share with you these 7 things I stopped doing. I believe with everything in me that they are the reason I'm still here. Well, I want you to listen closely, because one of these might be quietly stealing years from your life right now, and you don't even know it. The first one sounds old-fashioned. My mother used to remind me of this when I was a child, but I didn't listen. For many years after having my supper, I would still sit in front of the television, would snack on some crackers, sweets, a bowl of ice cream. It seemed harmless, but then I started waking up tired. My body felt heavy. My joints ached. My sleep was restless. About 40 years ago, I decided to stop. My last bite of food happens before 6 o'clock in the evening. In the summer, when the days are long, might be 7 after that. I only have water or warm tea. Your body needs time to heal itself. It cannot clean the house if it is still busy cooking dinner. Do you understand? Within just a few weeks, woke up feeling completely different. I was more alert and lighter. I slept deeper. Since then, I have never gone back to my old habits. The second thing is that I stopped arguing with people who don't want to understand. When I was young, I used to be very competitive. I loved correcting others. Whenever someone said something wrong, I had to argue until the end. I loved the feeling of winning. I always wanted to prove that I was right. And do you know what I got in return? High blood pressure, long nights of tossing and turning, with insomnia, a mind that was always on fire and exhausted. And in the end, I didn't change a single person's mind. Trying to fix the thoughts of someone who doesn't want to listen is exactly like trying to scoop the ocean dry with a spoon. It is truly useless and foolish now. Everything is different. When someone says something that makes me angry, I just smile. I choose silence and slowly walk away. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Every argument you refuse to join, a piece of peace you keep for your own heart. The third thing is to stop sitting in one place for too long. I am not talking about going to the gym. I am just talking about standing up, walk, and move throughout the day. My husband used to sit in his recliner all day long. He only got up to eat his meals or use the bathroom. He left me early, at the age of 72 now. I always keep myself moving. Walk to the mailbox by myself. Stroll around my small garden. I always stand up when I am on the phone. I hang and fold the laundry with my own hands. The body is like a stream of water. As long as it flows, it stays clear. If it sits still for too long, it begins to rot from the inside. If you sit more than necessary, you are letting old age arrive faster. The fourth thing is to stop holding on to things that make your heart heavy. This took me a very long time. I have a younger sister. She once hurt me very deeply. We stopped speaking and didn't talk to each other for 15 years. I carried that pain with me every single day. It was exactly like carrying a heavy stone in my pocket. Then I realized a truth. My sister was living a normal life. She wasn't losing any sleep at all. The person who was truly suffering and tormented was me one day. I picked up the phone and called her. I said, "I forgive you." Both of us cried. There was no need to judge right or wrong anymore. After the call, I felt weightless. It felt like a massive burden had been lifted. I slept better, My heart truly calmed down. Unforgiveness sits in the body. Like a kind of poison, your body cannot heal what your heart still insists on holding on to. The fifth thing is that I stopped letting my mind eat trash before bed. In the past, I would turn on the television every night to watch the news. I watched terrible things. I watched reports of accidents, violence, and loud political arguments. Then I carried all that mess into my sleep, made me tired and restless. But now, I have changed. I choose to turn off the television very early. I sit and read a few pages of a book. I take a little time to pray. I step out to sit on the porch, quietly listen to the birds singing, and watch the evening shadows fall. As a result, I sleep much more deeply. My soul has less anxiety. My mind becomes light and incredibly clean. Please remember this carefully. What you feed your mind before you sleep is just as important. What you feed your body. The sixth thing I learned was to stop trying to please everyone. For most of my life, I was someone who didn't know how to say no. If anyone needed anything, was there immediately. If the church needed help, was the first to volunteer. If family needed money, was ready to give it all. If a neighbor needed to talk for hours, I would sit and listen. The consequence was that I fell into exhaustion. I often felt resentful and drained of energy, no longer felt true joy in my heart. At that time, I was stretched so thin that it felt as if just a little more and I would disappear completely now. I have realized a painful truth: saying yes to everyone, saying no to yourself currently. I am learning to refuse, gently but firmly, protect my time and my mental health. Remember that those who truly love you will always understand your limits. As for those who don't understand, perhaps they only love how useful you are. They don't truly love who you are. The last and most important thing is that I stopped waiting to live when I was young. I always thought happiness was somewhere behind a milestone. I told myself I would be happier when the kids grew up, when the debts were paid, when I officially retired. But the truth is, life just keeps passing by. I realized I had missed most of the beauty of life just because I kept waiting. My husband and I once cherished a plan to travel far away for 30 years. We always said we would save it for the right time, but he passed away just 3 months before the day we were supposed to leave. My best friend was the same. We promised each other we would sit by the beach together when we both retired. But she didn't make it to that day. Stop waiting. Say I love you right now. Take the trip you dream of right now. Eat the food you like. And wear the best clothes you have at this very moment. Don't save your joy for a special occasion, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. The right time is not in the future. It is right here in today. The right time. The precious time you are still being given. Those are the 7 things I chose to stop. Eating too late, arguing in vain, sitting for too long, holding grudges, feeding my mind with toxins, living to please others, and waiting to start living. These things sound simple, but I know they are not easy. You have to choose to practice them every single day with persistence. I have witnessed too many people I love leave this world too soon. It wasn't always because life was unfair. Sometimes it was because they wouldn't let go of the things that were quietly shortening their lives. You truly have more power than you think, and you have more time than you imagine if you stop giving it away to the things that are stealing it from you now. If you will excuse me, I am going to stand up and head out to the porch. There is still some beautiful evening sun out there, and I don't intend to miss it for one more second.